Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We've been doing a little bit more history videos here. Lately we watched the video about all of the countries that Britain had invaded, and I brought up in that video, and I know I've done it before, about a show about the British and American independence. Sorry, guys. Um, and I couldn't think of the name of the series that I had watched. It's got like a ton of British actors, obviously, as well as American ones. But I finally looked it up, and it was Sons of Liberty, and it was actually Ben Barnes played Samuel Adams in it, and was fantastic. Um, but I mentioned to one of the subscribers, I think Helen, um, that I was thinking about going back and watching some of the clips of it, and I actually did go grab a couple of them because they're all pretty short. They're like 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, um, and including the trailer. But I just wanted to watch it with you guys. It's one. I think it's so well done. Um, I think they did it for History Channel. I'm sure we'll see a logo pop up at some point. But it's one that when my son's a little bit older, it's one that I definitely want to watch with him so he can like kind of better understand all of it. But what I've got here, I put up the trailer, and then like I said, I've got that, and then I have three other ones set up. I think two of them are kind of sneak peeks, so they show a little bit from the show and then they talk about it. And then the other one is a scene of Ben Barnes as Samuel Adams talking to like the Congress. Um, and that's kind of what I think we're gonna end on. But I wanted to jump into it. It was so it was so good. Um, but it's been a while since I have watched it, and I watched it twice. I watched it when it was first on, then I watched it later with my grandma, and she loved it. Um, but yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. I will link all of these videos in the description, along with a link over to my Patreon. Just started the in-betweeners over there. I'm going to do another episode here today. So funny. And then I'm also going to put a link in there of how you can support the channel here on YouTube. If you like the videos, you watch a lot, consider becoming a member. It helps me out a lot and it gets you a ton of extra perks. So, with that said, let's go jump into the trailer for Sons of Liberty.
You're not talking about defending your rights as Englishmen. You're talking about a new country. All the colonies united. A new nation.
Any man found violation of His Majesty's laws will be dealt with without mercy.
I'll be the first.
There's been an incident in the colonies.
A group of rebels causing mischief and mayhem in the streets.
These are our streets!
Gentlemen, you will henceforth be known as the Minutemen.
These colonists are committing treason. They are thugs and outlaws.
We need more guns.
You have the influence, I have the money.
This has gone too far. It has to end now.
So this is where greatness resides.
To show them what we're made of.
This is just the beginning.
Wasn't great. It looks like they kind of clipped that up. I'm sure it was originally longer, but we'll go ahead and we'll jump into one of the sneak peeks here. This one is the Boston Massacre.
This is a war. We will not tolerate your threats by command of the king!
In the winter of 1770, Boston was an occupied city.
Boston will know order.
It actually took the Sons of Liberty and their small rebellions against the things that were not fair to show everyone that they were being stifled by the British.
This mob comes down King Street just as Private U. White is pushing a boy to the ground, an apprentice who had been taunting him.
The Boston Massacre was a bad decision on the British side.
The mob surrounds White. Captain Thomas Preston brings 7 soldiers down King Street.
There was troops put in place there that were known to cause trouble before.
I think that's why Gage has such a poor reputation, because he hired the nastiest, bloodiest group of redcoats he could.
He's a passionate man. His heart is for England.
I want the scalp of every colonial savage.
They opened fire, and that really stirred the pot and created this whole domino effect throughout the course of history.
That's right! That's right!
In seconds, 3 men were dead in the street, 2 were mortally wounded. Captain Preston demanded to know why they started shooting, and they said, "We heard fire and thought you said it."
Early the next morning, the Lieutenant Governor orders Captain Preston and the 8 soldiers arrested for murder.
At the trial of the soldiers, the facts of the case showed that both sides were in the wrong.
John Adams represented the soldiers. He believed in the right to counsel and the protection of innocence. That philosophy is what fueled the revolution.
The Sons of Liberty and Samuel Adams are masters of propaganda.
In newspapers throughout the colonies, Sam Adams branded the event the Boston Massacre and spun it not as some local isolated event, but as part of a vast British conspiracy to crush freedom throughout the continent.
Americans like the freedom. All right. Next clip is the Boston Tea Party sneak peek.
This is yet another incident in a long line of treasonable acts committed by a childish and insubordinate colony.
It was a simple protest. How could 340 crates of ruined tea set the colonies on the road to independence?
The Boston Tea Party is this very iconic event in American history. It was a real message that was being sent about the unfairness of the taxation.
In 1773, the British East India Company was going bankrupt. Parliament decided to bail it out by allowing it to sell its tea directly to the colonists through licensed merchants.
The people of Boston are merely reacting to policies in which they are forced to purchase.
Nobody is forcing the colonists to behave in this way. They seem quite content to subvert the king's authority all on their own.
If Parliament can force us to buy tea from the East India Company, the largest corporation in the world, what power doesn't Parliament have?
They're saying, hey, you know, we don't want to be ruled by somebody who got his power based on how he was born.
And there's a fear that if we don't resist this, the East India Company will become the governors of Massachusetts the same way they've become the governors of India.
I think in the end about $2 million worth of tea was spilled over.
After the Tea Party, Pickering and Gage were brought over. It was an embarrassment really to the crown. They shut down the harbour as a form of punishment.
Nothing in, nothing out.
No duty will go unpaid. No transgression unpunished.
Well, that was exactly what Sam Adams wanted them to do. He convinced the other colonies to send representatives to the Continental Congress to discuss a collective response to the crackdown on Massachusetts. He knew that once the colonies started working together, there'd be no stopping the march to independence.
Right, and then this last clip is Ben Barnes as Samuel Adams talking about the independence. It was kind of his speech to Congress. Down a little bit. Didn't realize we were there. All right, let's get going.
I know what most of you think of me. That I'm a thug, a smuggler, rebel. And I started all of this. Asked for it. A drunk who never did anything with his life. And has caused all this trouble for everybody. Well, I'm here today to tell you that you're right. I am. I am all of those things and more. But in the eyes of the crown, I'm nothing. In the eyes of the crown, you are nothing. You're just colonists. Who do you want to be? I mean, the answer actually isn't even important. It's the idea that we even have the right to ask the question, who do we want to be? We don't need a birthright. We don't need a family crest. And we certainly don't need the king's damn permission. What we need is a fair and equal chance. The freedom to live our lives the way that we see fit, and the confidence that that freedom cannot be taken away from us. That is our God-given right. And I, for one, am willing to fight for it. Willing to die for it. Independence, gentlemen. Independence.
So, the show, it was kind of like a mini series. I can't remember how many episodes that was. I think that was part of episode 3. But it was really good. It probably did help that General Gage, the guy that plays him, is really good at being a bad guy, for sure. Not a great guy. I think his wife was actually an American, and I think there was talks, I don't know for sure, of her being like a spy for America. I think in the series they might have had her that way. I can't remember, but they really, even like I said previously, if you didn't see it, like even the Americans, like the more wealthy ones that were doing well, that were like sympathetic to the crown, um, they ended up screwing them over. And I mean, I don't know why you would screw over the people that are trying to help you out, but they did, and at that point it was like, forget it then, whatever I have left, like I'm gonna put it towards getting my stuff back. Right? So it was a really good series. If you haven't seen it, you absolutely should. Ben Barnes is absolutely awesome, just amazing in it. I don't know a ton of movies that he's in. I think he does T-Mobile commercials now, but he was absolutely amazing in it. um but yeah, I just wanted to kind of go back over it, and I don't even remember most of that, to be honest with you. My memory is awful, but um, just so you guys could see some clips of it, see what it was about, and maybe you'll watch it. Let me know. Let me know if you have seen it. But yeah, I wanted to check it out with you guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, if you think it looked pretty good, hit the like button, hit subscribe, share, hype the video, all that jazz, and have an awesome, awesome day, guys.